Hello and welcome to the one and only
What is this?
REL Recording. Well, it's like a kind of like a half-breed of REL Recording and something else. We don't know what it is. So last year we did a review on Black Panther.
Yes,
was it last year?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, last year we did a review on Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of the highest views that I've ever received. Was it on your channel? It was on your channel.
Yeah, it's on my channel.
It was one of the highest views that we've ever gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to try something a little different. This isn't a podcast per se. This is not REL Recordings podcast. We're going to talk about movies on this show right here that we're doing right now.
Oh, so we're adding another show?
Maybe. I don't know. Why not? Video games, movies, podcasts.
That's what we do.
Yeah. So this time we're going to be doing our slight kind of 2-year late review.
2 year late.
2-year late review on a movie called Life.
Okay, now, when this came out, I was interested, but I just never got around to the theater to see it. That just happened that way.
And it sucked because I really wanted to see it. I love monster films. And even more so, I like sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had like this weird of fascination with space and like aliens and stuff like that. So it's a kind of mixture of both. It's a monster film and it's space sci-fi. And I feel as though it not really went under the radar, but it was underappreciated is what I feel.
Okay, now, in seeing this movie, finally, after 2 years.
After a million years.
I see a lot of folks' criticisms about it, because I read some reviews after the fact. I don't like, unless it's certain reviewers, I don't like watching reviews or reading reviews before I watch a movie.
Right.
So I read some reviews after the fact.
Right.
And a lot of folks were complaining that the plot itself was too simple, that the cast were making dumb mistakes for how smart they were. And a lot of folks were saying it's basically a rip of, so it's like Aliens meets, I forgot the other thing that they said, but it's basically Alien.
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's basically Alien. There was only one Alien in Alien, wasn't there? No?
Matter of fact, they said it was Alien Meet the Thing. That's what they said it was.
I don't know. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how I feel about that statement. Because The Thing is one of my personal all-time favorite monster movies. Mm-hmm. Like the original The Thing was of all time. I will say that the characters, the cast, the decisions that they make can kind of, you can understand why they do it.
Mm-hmm. Natural human response.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
However, the guy, being fascinated and with the alien's name is Calvin. Mm-hmm. Being fascinated with Calvin, as what you said, was he thinks that it can cure and do great things for people on Earth, so he wants to study it more.
Yep.
And then immediately after that, after it bites him, breaks his hand. By the way, spoilers. I don't know if we should put that other.
Spoilers for a 2-year-old movie.
Yeah, spoilers for a 2-year-old movie, which if you hadn't seen it now,
I'm sorry.
I'd recommend it. But after it breaks his hand, then Ryan Reynolds' character goes in and he saves the dude and then tries to kill it. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Like, it's now hostile. Mm-hmm. So we should treat it as such and kill it.
Okay.
And then after it backfires.
So here's my thing. As a natural human response like that was, here's what I would have done, but we would have had no movie if I'd have done this way. As soon as I started to see that this thing had rapid unicellular growth. It's basically one cell and another cell because these cells act individually on their own. They grow as one thing,
Right.
but it's like it's a brain and muscle tissue all at the same time, which means it can think just as fast as it moves.
All of its limbs have its own.
Yeah, it has its own.
Has its own mind.
Yeah, it has its own mind, and that's a scary thought. And as soon as I find that out, we don't need this on the ship. Because, like I said, as soon as I see that it has rapid cellular growth, like it's growing very quickly,
Right.
eject that thing into space. Yeah, we're not gonna have a movie, but
Yeah, again.
eject that damn thing into space.
Yeah, but like it's we gotta. They have to pad out time for the movie. They can't just be like, oh shit, it's growing and whatever. We gotta kill it now. Just throw it out into space. Also, it can survive a little bit in space, as per seen in whenever it killed Ryan Reynolds. By the way, he died like almost immediately.
I think the biggest issue was that they didn't see it as a threat
Immediately.
Which anything that is alien to our ecosystem, I should say, I would always consider a threat.
That's how it is in the real world, where if you take something out of its natural habitat, put it somewhere else, you're ruining that. You're now ruining that habitat because you're introducing a foreign body to a new area. It's not going to survive because it doesn't know how to survive in this area.
But with its,
it's like if you put a penguin in Africa. It's not. It can't survive there.
Well,
I mean, I probably could, but it'd have a hard time with all the predators.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's because of what it can do, or what it was doing in the beginning, that should have put up red flags. Yeah, it doesn't see you as a threat at first, and it seems friendly because it's attaching itself to you and all of that, but it's learning you far more quickly than you're learning it.
Right.
So, and it seems that in its DNA, that all it knows is to dominate and destroy.
Right.
So that's what it did.
Yeah, and it survives in a similar environment, like atmosphere, as humans. Like it had to have the carbon dioxide that we intake with the with how much we polluted the earth,
along with oxygen,
water. It needs to be hydrated. However, it can hydrate itself with coolant, which is why the long range communication went down.
Basically, let me put it this way: just break down the movie real quick. They find an organism to come from,
Mars.
Mars.
It came from Mars, I believe.
Yeah, it came from Mars, and they find it near the ISS, the International Space Station. They get it, they study it, and it shows rapid growth, and one by one, team members of the crew get taken out by this thing, and surprise ending that shouldn't have had. You know what it had? You know what type of ending it had for me?
What?
It had a Cloverfield paradox ending.
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Well.
Also, like on the box of the movie itself, it says an ending that you didn't see coming.
You're right, because logically, the way that was playing out,
yeah,
it should have happened the happy way.
Yeah.
But then we get a turn, and
which with the ending, there's kind of like a slight problem that I have
a big problem with the ending
because what's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal's character.
Gordon Levitt's.
No, that's Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's Jake Gyllenhaal? No, it's not.
That is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Hold on, I'm looking this up right now.
You're questioning me. Okay.
All right, hold on.
The movie guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because I swear it's.
It is not. That is Jake Gyllenhaal. I promise you.
That one. Whatever. You're right. I'm wrong. So, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, he took off before, what's her name? He took off before her, which means that he should be ahead of her. Why they both got hit by the same thing at the exact same time, spinning them in two different directions, doesn't make any sense.
I have so many problems with
that. That I can't agree, because she had to wait till he got into the pod.
Release the pod.
Kelvin got into the pod, released the pod, then she had to go from where she was to the pod to then escape, which is like on two different ends of the space station. So why did they both get hit at the exact same time?
Movie logic.
Okay. All right, you got me there.
That's the best way to put it, is movie logic. And they I think at the end of the day, the director just wanted a surprise ending. It's like, oh, you think it'll be happily ever after.
Who directed it?
I forgot the guy's name. I think I've only seen like one or two movies that he's done. But I was disappointed.
With the ending?
I don't mind sequel baiting, but this is what it felt like. I
didn't see it as a sequel bait. I saw it as a, well, shit's fucked.
Yeah, but when you leave it the way you left it, of course, as an audience member, you're stuck thinking, okay, now I want to know what happens next, or I'm so pissed off that, it didn't happen the way we felt it should have happened.
Yeah.
Which is the happy ending that we thought we were going to get.
Also, another thing with the ending where the pod lands in the ocean of some foreign country. Dudes in where?
In Asia.
In Asia.
I think it was Thailand.
Yes, it looked like Thailand. Yeah. So if in a foreign country, don't know the language of that area. Dudes in a boat roll up and say, "Oh, hey, I found a space pod." Look into the window. There's a dude covered in alien with spikes coming out of him. Him screaming, "Ah!" My first inclination is, I got to open that and see what's going on. I just want to make sure the dude's okay.
He's screaming? Nah, I'm not opening that.
Yeah, no.
You're on your own there, bud.
Yeah.
Sorry. It had a lot going for it.
That, I will say, is a stupid decision, a stupid thing to do on the part of the boatman.
That's just bad writing.
And then the guy that thought the other shuttle that was pushing them into deep space, he thought that was an escape pod to help come rescue them.
He was panicking. It was a panic move.
And he wasn't with the other two whenever they specifically said, they're not here to save us. No, they're here to kill us, basically.
They're here to push us into space.
Yeah.
Because
he wasn't there with them, so why wouldn't he think, there's another pod here, we can escape?
It's a natural panic move. It's like, oh, somebody attached themselves to the station. Maybe if I get there quick enough, they can get me the heck out of here, because, natural move. I get it.
Right.
I get it. So when folks complain in their reviews saying that, for these so smart people, they're making dumb decisions. No, they're making natural human decisions.
Yeah, they're panicking.
At the end of the day, the thought is to survive.
Right.
And if I can get away from this thing, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
The one thing that was going for me was this movie's cinematography itself. That whole opening scene where everything's in zero gravity, including the camera.
Mm-hmm. The
way the camera flowed through each area of the scene worked for me. That's just what I see.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting because of that opening shot.
Right.
Then we get to know them a little bit, very little. And you get to know the crew just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
We see that one guy's muscles are atrophied because he's been in space for
over a year.
It's
like 400 some odd days.
It's like 14 months, right?
Yeah, something like that. And it's like, you should not be up there that long.
That's going to just
But he didn't want to go home. He's like, I like it better up here than I do down there, blah, 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 blah. Jake Gyllenhaal's character is the one that we actually get to know the most about.
Right.
And
because we don't know anything about the dude that's looking at Calvin through the thing.
Besides the fact that on Earth he lives in a wheelchair.
Yeah. That's the only thing that we find out after we see his legs.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, everybody these days is a critic, so they find the tiniest things to nitpick on. Sometimes you just need to enjoy a movie for the sake of enjoying a movie.
Right. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I didn't think it was the greatest monster movie ever. Also, the alien itself looked a lot like the new the mimics from 2016's or 2017's Prey. Was it 2017?
Something like that. I don't know.
From the newest Prey game. It looked like the Mimics. And it moved like the Mimics. That's what I think that it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just a blob that has a mind of its own.
It grew a face.
Yeah, it did grow a face. Which, that would have been interesting to see. I mean, you see its evolution from tiny unicellular organism to what it became.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious as to, design-wise, what it would have become had it continued to consume and grow.
That's an interesting point. It might have just grown into a giant space octopus.
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. But the movie's not bad. I don't care for the ending. But the movie's not bad.
Right. I agree. I don't think the movie's bad. The ending could have had a rework.
Yeah. But, as far as your question as to why this movie didn't get as much love as it should have, I think that has a lot to do with
the time it came out.
the time it came out. It's a summer.
It had a lot to do with the time that it came out because it went up against Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Right.
And it's summer movie season.
Yeah.
You don't put movies that take a little time to get going out during the summer. That's just not a smart move.
No, you want to put that out
put
in the
late summer into the fall.
Right.
Before the big awards movies come out later on in November. Everything has a time schedule. And if you know Hollywood's time schedule, that was not a good time to put it out. Excuse me. I would have put it out either in late spring or early fall.
I would have put it out in early fall, to be honest. Because that's the kind of atmosphere it should have, where it's cold, because it's in space.
But you don't put it up. It's summer movie season is big blockbuster season. The kids are out, parents are taking off and taking their kids to the movies. You want to go see exciting stuff, and
it gets exciting
in parts.
It's not like a adrenaline rush. I have to.
It's not like
Fallout.
Yeah. Oh.
Which, by the way, we watched.
Oh my God! It's just. I don't hate it. It's exhausting. I just want things to stop for a minute. Tell me some story. But we're not going to talk about Mission
Mission Impossible right now.
Oh, God. I was so tired by the end of the movie. You have no idea. But it came out during the wrong time. That's not the right movie for that season.
All right. So, after 17 minutes of discussion.
It's a minisode.
After 17 minutes of discussion, it can go on my channel. I don't care. What would you rate Life?
Out of what?
5.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5? All right, that seems reasonable. I'd probably give it the same.
And it's only, 1, because of its ending, and 2, it can be slow in parts, and for the season that it came out, it was not ideal.
Right. What's a good example of a bad monster or a horror movie?
Bad horror movie?
Like a bad monster horror movie.
Hatchet. No. Hatchet's bad.
All right. I would say
Black
it's above
Christmas.
it's above Feast. It's above Feast.
No, Feast is in a category all of its own, because there are movies that are so bad that they're fun and they're good. That's what Feast is. Life is not that kind of movie. Not at all.
The first one was a horror movie. Remember?
Yeah.
It had funny parts in it, and it was fucking stupid, but it's still a monster movie technically.
Yeah, but
I'm not talking about Feast 2 and 3.
No,
those don't count.
No, I count it all as one big movie. And it's just.
And that one big movie took a weird turn.
It's so bad. It's fun. When you're talking about movies that are bad just for the sake of just doing, they're just not good.
All right, but anyway, I would say it's above Feast.
Okay.
But it's below The Thing.
Okay.
I don't think I could use Feast as a good example because that's down there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even keep it recent, the last few years kind of thing. Like The Predator. The Predator was not good.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I'm disappointed by it, and that ending. That's up. Sorry.
What, you don't like the Predator suit?
It's fucking stupid. You know, there's an alternate ending out there
Are you serious?
where it's not the suit that comes out of that pod, but Newt from Aliens 3 that comes out of that pod. A character from Aliens 3 comes out of that pod.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I would have rather gone with that than gone with the damn.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Predator. I guess this is not just a minisode. It's going to be other movies that we saw together. Here's the thing with Predator. It seemed like it was more of a... It's trying to throw homage, like references at you about the older movies as fast and as quickly as possible.
And it's like, oh, you remember that the original Predator was a big action-based film? So were we.
Yeah. Also, get to the chopper. Remember that? Now they're talking about police bikes, which aren't choppers.
It's just not good.
And then there was the 1 and 2, because it wasn't in 3, I don't think. Ugly motherfucker. You are one ugly motherfucker. That wasn't in 3. It was in the first 2. But whenever they have the Predator on the operation table in the middle of Area 51, which is in the middle of a city for some reason, and Olivia Munn's character comes out, she goes, oh, you are one beautiful motherfucker. And I was like, oh my god, are you fucking serious?
It wasn't written well. It wasn't directed well. It just wasn't a good movie.
No.
So if you're gonna,
I also don't like the fact that their whole idea of they're trying to produce the ultimate Predator, so they're getting some autistic kid or some kid with whatever syndrome,
like Asperger's or something.
Yeah, we're gonna use him to further our race.
It was weird. So yeah, life is above that.
Yeah, life is above Predator.
But
is it Predator or Predator?
The Predator.
The Predator. It's above the Predator.
You got to be careful because there's Predator, Predator 2,
Predators,
The Predator,
AVP, and AVP 2,
and then those AVP movies, which I don't like talking about.
Would you say it's above AVP?
Yes.
Okay.
But,
would you say it's above Predators?
No.
Do you think Predators is a better movie?
Mm-hmm. Predators is a much better movie. Predators is the right homage to Predator.
I would say that, although I didn't really care for Predators as much as I did the first 2, but that's how I'm going to feel about... Like, I don't like the 2011 The Thing over...
Even though it leads into the older thing.
Even though it's a prequel. Yeah. I'm not going to like the 2011 The Thing over the... What year did it come out? Like 1970 something?
70 or 80 something, I don't remember. But yeah, I get it. And just life had the unfortunate circumstance of just being released at the wrong time and having a bad ending.
Yeah, I agree.
And a bad ending can kill any movie.
Mm-hmm.
You could be doing well up until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's a good thing that they got a sequel, though. That sequel being Venom.
I'm not acknowledging that.
What are you talking about? The movie's called Life, and Venom came down on a Life Foundation ship.
Mm-mm. Nope.
That's how it worked. Is it so hard to believe that Riot was Calvin?
Yep.
You can believe that. Awesome.
No, I cannot believe that.
Oh, damn. Shit, I thought I got you there.
No, it's all trash.
It's all trash.
I don't want to talk about Venom because it's not terrible, but it's not good either.
Yeah, that's
something
for a different time. Well, it's been short. It's been fun. This is a weird amalgamation of Ariel recording and
just a movie review. Yeah, I mean, it's life.
Yeah, it's life. So
I've said all I can about it.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this, let us know, because it would be fun. Might be fun to do this with other movies. We can do more of these on We can do specific movies that we watch. We can watch a movie and then do a movie or a review on that, no matter what year it came out.
Just like little minisode reviews.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed it, let us know. We might do more of it. If not, whatever. We still might do more of it. So until next time, I've been Phil.
I'm Dev.
And we are some sort of a weird amalgamation of Ariel Recording. Goodbye.
Later.